How dissatisfied were Nigerians with the service of the former service chiefs for it to have caused this kind of reaction?
Yeah, my brother, I think the first thing that excited most Nigerians has to do largely with the way the positions were balanced.
Okay.
You see, we are made up of over 200 million people. And positions as sensitive as security chiefs have been domiciled in one part or one zone of the country. You know that in the first place didn't go down well with so many people.
Okay.
If you look at the new appointment, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu tried his best to spread the appointments. The chief of justice, the new CDS is from Kaduna State, that's Northwest Zone. The NSA is from Adamawa State, that's New Ribadu, Northeast Zone. Then we have the Chief of Army Staff now, Major General E.A. Lagbaja, who is from Southwest, Osun State. Then we have Admiral Ogala, who is from Southeast, Enugu State. Then we have the Air Force Chief, who is from Kano State, is also Southwest. IG of Police, who is from Southwest. Down to customs and other people who are equally spread. Now, the truth here is, it wasn't as if the previous service chiefs didn't perform or didn't do well.
Okay.
If you look at all these newly appointed service chiefs, they were all top commanders in previous regime. Like Lagbaja barely just left Kaduna as the GOC of one division, and he was somebody who actually brought a lot of peace around Kaduna, especially the Kaduna Abuja road that was not passable at one point. He set up a very serious security task force there that now made the road passable. So if I am saying the previous service chiefs didn't perform, then I won't really refer to them. But what I saw and what I noticed most people too saw in them was appointments were one-sided, and so there was no room for when you have a problem or you have an issue and you want to take it up. Such complaints and issues can't really go too far, especially if you are moving against the boys of the big man up there. So I think people were more happy with the way he spread it. That's my take on that.
All right. Now, Doctor, don't you think that was a misplaced reaction? And the reason I say this is because those positions are sensitive. They border on security. I would be more concerned about a man who can do the job as against whether or not the man is from my part of the country.
Yes, you're right, my brother. But if you had looked at Nigeria long before now, we will always protest if you don't put one of our own there. I tell you one thing, with the way these appointments are being spread now, a lot of people take for instance like the chief of naval staff. As of the time the appointment was announced, a lot of people were saying he's from Kogi. Some people said he's Benue. just for people now to find out that the man is even not any of those states. The man is from Enugu State. And I tell you, a lot of people, even from Enugu State, don't even know him. But the fact that he's a man from their town or a man from their state who is now the chief of naval staff, it gives them some kind of contentment and all that. We until we remove this Federal Character Commission thing and all that, and allow people the best of the best. These guys are all classmates. I don't know what their results look like and all that, but you'll be shocked by the time you go to their class now. They are not even the best of their class. There are most definitely some A students there. Until when we start to allow merit and things like that to play, then this question you're asking can come to play, my brother. But for now, this is where we are, and we will live by it and pray that gradually we'll get out of it and we'll begin to look at merits on appointments. Okay. It doesn't even matter when two brothers are the best of the best, you just put them there. But honestly, for now, there are needs to balance up so many things so that peace can reign and all that. You can see the country is highly charged up. You know, so you for now, I think the president is on track.
Okay. Well, you get to be a part of the conversation. Shortly, we'll open the phone lines. My question for you is, how important is ethnic representation for appointment into these kinds of positions? Do you feel better if your brother, as we call a person from our end, holds such a high position? Does it make you feel safer as a Nigerian? Now, let's go to the capabilities of these chiefs. Doctor, what skill set should they come with to be able to, render quality service?
Yes, I've told you about the chief of army staff who was GOC in Kaduna State, and we saw a lot of people saw what he did in terms of performance and all that. They are capable. They They have the capacity, because these are top commanders of the military. For the military is not like politics where you can just go and take up somebody and put into a position and all that. These are things they started right as cadets. They became second lieutenant, captain, until they became SEALs, like that up the ladder. So they know themselves. In terms of capacity and requirement, I think they've all gone through the grill to have gotten to where they've gotten to now.
Okay.
Now, your second question: what previous service chiefs didn't quite do? A lot of people were expecting them in this 21st century to do more of non-kinetic force approach. I know in this part of the globe, in Africa in particular, we find it too difficult. We would always prefer to want to use force. But I'll tell you one thing, my brother. You can set up a machinery to also look as if it's not working with the military or working with the government, whereby using traditional rulers and opinion leaders of communities to go behind the scene and do a lot of talking for you. They go behind the scene and do a lot of talking for you. By the time these reports get back to you, you have the better information at your hand to really know what next step to do. Previous service chiefs were using kinetic force, even where there was no need to use kinetic force. A good number of people have argued it and said, how can you say they shouldn't use kinetic force? Somebody goes to a place, he now proves that he wants, now starts shooting innocent people. And you're not expecting the military now to go there and now start pampering such person and all that. Yes, I said yes, it's true, but it's not in all cases. you look at certain root causes of these problems. These are problems that can be resolved through dialogue. And in most cases, if you look at the root causes of these problems, the Nigerian military and the security architecture of the country is not even involved in them. You find out people just go and cause problems that are personal problems or community problems, because we have one or two people up there and all that. You see it begin to spread. And before you know, it begins to turn to national issues. It begins to turn ethnic. So sometimes, my brother, let's try to look at the root causes of these problems. A good leader, if he sees problems, it could be as little as the particle of an atom.
Okay.
But a good leader will just kill it there.
All right, Dr.
It's
Joseph.
very good. I'm not saying leader. I say good leader will kill it there.
Yeah.
I won't let it go further because it could lead to something very big and all that.
We do have to take a break now, sir. After the break, of course, we'll be talking about the ranking. There is a report that it's possible 100 military generals may be retired due to this appointment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. It still is Morning Crossfire 92.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sam Oracle Chinedu. We're talking about the appointment of new service chiefs and what part federal character plays in the scheme of things. How important is ethnic balance? My guest, who is joining me via the phone, is Dr. Joseph Ochigbo. He is a leadership and strategic studies expert. Of course, he was a member of IT and data management. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Welcome back. All right, so let's take another direction with this conversation. A public affairs analyst says the sack and replacement of security chiefs by the president is in order. Mr. Jackson, who said this while speaking with our correspondent, said the former chiefs did little to solve insecurity in the country. Let's hear from Mr. Jackson.
Various governments, there was a lot of nepotism executed by that government, no doubt about that. So if current president has decided to spread this according to a law which covers national interests, it is constitutional to spread the appointments nationwide. But when you talk about the service chiefs, I strongly believe that the last military head did not perform optimally and they were not effectively monitored by the commander-in-chief. We are expecting a new national security architecture completely so that we depart from past.
On the appointment of a retired police officer, Nuhu Ribadu, as the National Security Advisor, Mr. Jackson said Nigerians should be more concerned with capacity to perform the role.
It is not cast on stone that the National Security Advisor must be a military person. Police is an arm-bearing institution to the military. It depends on training and experience. If the new Ribadu had the necessary experience and the technically equipped mentally to handle such positions, so be it. We are not talking about the long military training you have. We are talking about practical experience. We are talking about the level.
All right, Doctor. Now, there is the issue, which, well, was not supposed to be an issue, but now it is, that Nuhu Ribadu, who is the NSA, was a police officer and not a soldier. What part is this supposed to play in the scheme of things?
Is that question for me?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yes. I agree with my brother there who just spoke. A national security advisor is a security advisor to the president. There are scholars who are scholars of strategic and defense studies who have not even held a knife before. I'll give you, for example, Condoleezza Rice was made an NSA in the United States of America. Who was she? What did she read in school? She read Russian history. Can we come out of this our colonial behavior and all that? There are strategic students who are scholars now who can advise the president on security. You mustn't be an hand-carrying man to be an NSA. You must not be. You already have the chief of defense staff. You have the service chiefs. You have your IG of police. They are there handling that end of it and all that. Yes, for me, if I know Ribadu is overqualified for that job. He's overqualified because he has held arms. That job has to do with advice on narcotics, advice on corruption, advice on and that's the whole stuff that makes up the office of the National Security Advisor. So for me, I don't see anything wrong in putting Ribadu there, or putting any other civilian who is a strategist, or I know a lot about defense and strategic studies and all that.
All right.
So for me, it's okay. Yes.
Well, join us. The numbers to call are 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. You can send messages to our WhatsApp. That's 080-903-06416. Facebook and Twitter is at Nigeria Info PH. Please turn off your radio as you call. Let me go back to the example you made, Doctor, with Condoleezza Rice of the USA, of course. Don't you think that a person with actual security experience might do a better job? Now, I'm not saying the job she did was bad, but if a person with experience comes along, do you not think that the job will be better?
Yeah, yes, obviously. we are a third world country. There are a lot of things here that are being left unchecked. So obviously, in a situation like ours, if you put somebody, a retired general or somebody with a better understanding of our local security architecture and movement, yes, he will definitely do better. He will definitely do better.
Okay.
And but all I'm saying is, let it not be looked as if you don't put such persons there, the office of the NSA cannot operate. It can operate.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying here.
Let's go to our phone lines. We have Michael calling from Borokiri. Good morning, Michael.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Sam.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Please, I want to use the opportunity to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Also, this is wishing you many useful years to come.
I appreciate it.
Sam, I want to ask him.
Yes, please.
Even the first day I saw that appointment on the TV, when I saw that the chief of naval staff, I actually thought from the name, I thought it was either Kogi or Benue.
Okay.
It was later I now discovered that man from Enugu, because from that name, Oshala, Ogala, something like that. I was confused.
Yeah.
So now, Sam, to go to the question that if whether the person comes from any party, the person can be anything. I don't have a problem with that. But our Nigerian Constitution has given provision that every session should be represented. So the idea of whether the whole chief of the whole intelligence people comes from one side, I know logically it makes sense. In our Nigerian case, it's a different thing. Every person must be represented because it's like a cake, national cake. Everybody must have a hand in it.
Okay.
So the idea of every one part should occupy everything, I don't agree with that.
Thank you very much, Michael. I have Braid calling from Malwan. Good morning, Braid.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yes. For me, I think the appointment is a very good one. And if you look at our Nigerian context, you look at it that it was given to all the zones. And when you talk about the National Security Advisor, I think Nuru Rubadu is well qualified and a sound mind. And it doesn't start today picking a retired police officer as chief security advisor. If you Google, you go to Ibrahim Babangida time, who is a military head of state. It was a retired police officer that were used as a security advisor. Look at this man. What is his name? Abu Salami. I think he's also a retired officer. When you look at the late Abu Salami and the likes of all those people, they use the retired police officer. And these are military men. They feel that those people have the capacity. You know, what we should be able to look at is capacity. Now that they are having a serious issue in insecurity, it doesn't mean that you must take a retired military officer. I think this man is well qualified. So for me, it's good to go.
Thank you very much, Braid. I'm not sure what Abdul Salami you're talking about, but when last I checked, the one we know is still very much alive. Clement from NTA Road, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Sam.
Good morning, Clement.
Good morning to your guest. Happy birthday, Mr. Sam.
Thank you, Clement.
Quickly, let me talk about the zoning. For me, why it is important that every zone should be represented across Nigeria.
Okay.
I use Nigeria because it is very important. We are a peculiar country. We have over 500 languages. So if we have this just when I say 500 languages and so many other differences that bring us together as well. Now, imagine having security advisors or chief security service from a particular zone. In other zones, we have insecurity. Now, who will the president listen to if advice is coming from this one region? Whether people are not represented, or rather they are not sitting at security meetings where the president can hear that, okay, this is what is peculiar to the people of, let's say, in Anambra State, for instance. Having somebody from, let's say, Calabar, you see, whoever is the service chief that is coming from that region can be in the meeting, and the president will hear.
Yeah, but Clement,
so automatically become a stakeholder.
Clement, the service of the service chiefs is to the nation, it's not to a region. So saying that they will be more biased to their regions, it already goes against their functions and duties. But very quickly, let me ask you a question. Let's say you are an important personality, and shortly you understand what I mean by that, and you are in need of a bodyguard thanks to your status and position. And they bring some people who may be qualified for the position. What is the first question you will ask them?
The question I will ask them?
Yes. When you want to recruit, what will be important to you?
What will be important to me is if they have been in a similar position before, that they are coming to occupy in my office or company.
So basically, experience. What part will state of origin or language they speak have to play in the ability to defend your life?
Now, this is what I am talking about. When I say stakeholder in a region, we are together as a country.
Okay.
But there are some differences, language, culture, discipline, and all that.
Yeah.
So now, imagine somebody is not from this particular region where the security is so tense.
Yeah.
How can that person, the security meeting, tell that, okay, this is what the needs of this are. If you provide this, then this is what. The person knows that is why he's saying that.
Okay.
It's different from he has not been there before, he has not done anything.
Clement, before I let you go, before I have to take other calls. Now, right here in River State, we are usually blessed every 2 market days with a new commissioner of police. They always come in, they walk, and then they are changed. Many of them might not be from here. How is it that they are able to function? At least the current commissioner, I think I've heard you say that the man is working well. So how is it that they are able to function in this terrain where they are not from or they have not lived in and function well?
Thank you, Mr. Sam. So, you see, let me use this current commissioner now. By his name, I know he's very close.
Hello? Oh, my. I lost that call. Letambari calls from Bori. Good morning.
Good morning, Sam.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Please, you wouldn't have allowed us much to stay much. So we are using...
Letambari, please go ahead.
Yes, concern is on the discussion, talking about where the appointment is coming from. To me, in the first place, I must thank God that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is been able to appoint people from different regions in order to prove that he has everybody at heart.
Okay.
But if we want to talk about delivering those who can deliver, I think we are not supposed to look at regions. Because what we are talking about is competency and the ability to deliver when it comes to security and all that. So, but for me, there is something I need to put here. When this issue of Muslim ticket was coming on, people were agitating it's not supposed to be so. I asked people to calm down. That this man has a good desire for this country. That for me, even if it takes a sick man to deliver Nigeria, I will grant my support to that person. And people were against me. Today you can see the hands of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whether it's an old man or whatever, it's not the case.
Okay, I don't know what
we are looking at is the competence of the man we have voted in to actually give us what we want.
Okay. Blessed calls from Alu. Good morning, Blessed.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, pertaining the
service chief appointed by our President Tinubu, that's a welcome development. People should not talk anything against the service chief. Some people say that Nuhu Ribadu is a policeman, there's a national security advisor. So how manage that is not used an army to be an NSC. See, our president, what he saw before I appoint those people, and everybody are even been singing this thing before, say all these service chiefs need to be changed. And they replace them with good people. And they told all the political zones, he choose one person to be among the security chiefs. That's the welcome development. This is what they are calling democracy. This man is giving us what we needed. And the way he started his government is very, very enticed. What we need to do, we need to collaborate. We need to join in. We need to work with, because security of it is not one man business. It's for everybody. Either you are a civil servant or you are a security agent or you are traders, whatever. So it's a everybody problem. We need to work with this present government, being the Tinubu, so that he can give us what we need in the country. Nigeria needs to work again. That's my own concern.
Well, thank you very much, Blessed. I have messages on WhatsApp. Good morning. The issue of security advisor appointment of a retired police officer is the best thing to happen to Nigeria at this point. The police deal with internal security and have the intelligence. Johnson says, good morning. Before now, when the service chiefs were not shared and spread over 6 geopolitical zones, our security never looked better. Nigerians like it more now that they are shared. Barry Johnson, well, they've only just been appointed. How can you already tell that security looks better? All right, back to you, Dr. Joe. So you've heard the reactions of some of our callers. We're still going to take more calls. And, well, people would always be people. They always align along lines of objectivity or sentiment. But let's go to the ranking system. Hello, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. So we have seen that most times or sometimes it is not the highest ranking officer that gets the appointment as a service chief. If what we are looking at is capacity, competence, and experience, should the person who has spent the longest time serving, the person with the highest rank, not be the most qualified for that position?
Yeah, of course. It should in an ideal situation or in some cases. But if you remember, I've always told you our case here is peculiar. Now, if you go back a little bit, look at the military. They suffered some kind of casualty. Borotai was barely chief of army staff for a very, very, very long period. You kept Borotai there for 6 years. Whereas under him, you were retiring officers under him. They call it age on rank or whatever kind of name or so. And you were retiring them. And you left a particular man there to sit for 6 years. In an organization where, right from NG, the day you graduate from NG, you already know the date you are leaving. So it's an institution that has a set goal. It has a terminal date. Now, they never made provisions to leave somebody in a particular seat for 6 years. And I tell you, I don't know what's on Bola Tinubu's mind and all that, but you will see him keep these guys for a good number of time, and he will now let them go, so that there can be breathing space, so that those under can breathe, and then they can come up. Now that's 6 years of Boratai. If you know the casualty it has cost the Nigerian Armed Forces, the Nigerian Army in particular, you will be shocked. Now these are people who taxpayers' monies were used to train. If you pick an average military officer, let me say a lieutenant colonel, or let me say a colonel, if you know what has gone into him in terms of taxpayers' money, you'll be shocked. By the time it gets to a general, if you know what has gone into such person as taxpayers' money, that is courses and other things cumulatively, and then you wake up one morning and tell the man to go. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't take us anywhere. Now back to your question here. For a lot of people, Bola Tinubu has done wonderfully well. There was a school of thought that told him to go down and go and look for a brigadier general and make the service and make the chief of army staff. That is, the casualty on top will be so much. Another school of thought told him, no, do this one. Yes, there are one or two casualties, but it's not much.
All right.
It's not like a class ahead that will go. The next class now takes charge, which is very, very okay.
Okay. Now, Dr. Joe, we're down to our very final minutes. Conclusively, what should Nigerians expect from this new administration, this new service chiefs? How exactly would we be able to rate good service from them? Very quickly.
Well, I think I don't know what's on their mind. We've not seen their blueprint. We've not seen their system of what style they are going to use to operate and all that. But one thing I know is spread across the region. And so there are going to be a lot of inputs from different people that they're going to bring to the table and all that. I think they listen to advice.
Okay.
I think they will excel and all that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Joseph Ochigbo. He's a student, PhD, Leadership and Strategic Studies, Postgraduate School of Nigeria. Thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. This is as far as we can fly right here on the Morning Crossfire. I have a final message on WhatsApp, which reads, the new Naval Chief of Staff is an assumed man, retired military man, failed as national security advisors. It's good to try someone from the police. No rebuttal will bring sanity. Let's support him for the country to move forward. That's from Gerald. All right. Well, connect with us at Nigeria Info PH on all platforms, with me at Sparkling Oracle on all platforms as well, or simply search for Sam Oracle Chinedu. Thanks to everyone who has sent birthday messages. Truly appreciate it. Coming up at 9 is the news, and after that, Jude takes you on a ride on Hello Port Hackett. Have yourself a wild and wonderful Wednesday.